What up, everybody? It's your boy CG, back at you guys again with another crypto video. Now, before I get into today's topic, if you guys could do me a favor and hit that like button. It takes less than a second. It's the easiest way to show support. It brings awareness to the channel, and it's just all around the only thing I ever really ask people to do. But let's get into today's video. I actually want to discuss the reasons why people may invest into Bitcoin. And me personally, I understood this a while ago. It didn't really take long for me to understand, but what did really take a little bit of a long time was me really comprehending the impact that Bitcoin may have on the future of transmissible money or money, just period. So I'm just going to talk about the things that may give Bitcoin its value and why other people may seem or deem it necessary to own a Bitcoin or put maybe 5-10% of their earnings into Bitcoin. But without further ado, let's get into it. So first and foremost, Bitcoin is borderless. And when I say Bitcoin is borderless, it's basically universal money. Everybody understands that Bitcoin has value. If I send a Bitcoin to somebody in China, I don't have to convert my money to the I think it's Chinese have the yuan or whatever it's called. I don't have to convert it to their currency and send it to them. I just send them a Bitcoin. And if they have storefronts over there that accept Bitcoin, they don't need to convert it to their local fiat paper. They just give them a Bitcoin. So in a sense, it's literally like universal money, universal dollars. In a sense, I don't even want to say dollars, but it's universal currency that everybody understands the value of. It may differ in, how can I put this, converted value once you convert it to fiat to a certain degree. But if somebody's charging one Bitcoin for something over there, it's one Bitcoin, literally. So, first and foremost, that's borderless. Second, highly divisible. So, in this one, they're discussing how Bitcoin is divisible up to, I believe, 100 millionth of a Satoshi or 100 millionth of a Bitcoin. Satoshis are basically, how can I put this, fractions of a Bitcoin. So if I was to buy or put $10 into a Bitcoin and Bitcoin was $100, that would be like point 0.1 Satoshis. Or no, that's a lie, that's a lie. That would be 10 million Satoshis actually. That actually would be 10 million Satoshis. But it'll be point 0.1 Bitcoin. You can keep going and going and going all the way down to 0.0000001 of a Bitcoin. I don't know how many zeros I just said, but you can go all the way down to the eighth decimal point, and at that point, you can go like one Satoshi, two Satoshi, three Satoshis, all the way to 100 million, or 100 million being you have one Bitcoin. So that's a pretty cool thing about it, and I'm not really gonna get into the comparisons just yet. Next, trustlessness. Bitcoin, you don't need any intermediaries to send your payment. So they made a little bit of a explanation inside this paragraph. They're talking about how you would normally need to open a bank account or a form of account, like which is PayPal, so on and so forth. Just in case you wouldn't want to transmit money to somebody else. But in this case, you don't need any type of intermediary because everything on the Bitcoin blockchain is operated by math. So math, the math for Bitcoin says you're sending this to this person. I will make sure it's there. There's no changing the code. There's no stopping the transaction once the transaction has happened. It's trustless. Literally, it's literally like a computer that can't be hacked. That's gonna do what you tell it to do, no matter what. So that's one of the big things about Bitcoin as well that people like, that you don't need like any third parties like banks or anybody else to transact money. On top of the fact that once again I said it's borderless, so it ties in. So it's trustless. I don't count on a bank to send, like if I want to send like freaking $1 million to my boy in China or my boy in Jamaica or Africa, I could literally hop on my computer, send it. That's it. It's easy. Censorship resistant. This is another big one. So I'm pretty sure you guys are familiar with how can I put this WikiLeaks, the website WikiLeaks. Now, under normal circumstances, you cannot donate money to the team behind WikiLeaks because it's been deemed I guess an illegal website in a sense, and basically all forms of payment have been banned to the website. Now, Bitcoin can still be sent to WikiLeaks because you don't need a third party. Once again, you don't need to go through it, and they cannot censor the transactions of Bitcoin, so they can't stop you from donating to people. That's another big thing about Bitcoin that people like. You can't. Nobody can say you're not allowed to do this with your money, which is really stupid if you ask me. Or like even before the old idea of Bitcoin, I've always thought that was really stupid that people can tell you what to do with your money, but it becomes more and more apparent just how stupid it is once you actually have a viable option to bypass that censorship. And this is a big reason why a lot of people actually do like Bitcoin. Now, the next reason is inflation control. So, I'm pretty sure people are familiar with the term quantitative easing if you're at all interested in economics to a certain degree. So essentially, fiat currencies being printed by a central figure such as the Federal Reserve or whatever the central authority in that country is. And as you guys know, the money just keeps coming and coming and coming. And you just, unless you're really trying to figure it out, people don't really comprehend how much of their purchasing power that they're losing each year through quantitative easing. Now, through Bitcoin, Bitcoin is going to have a fixed supply of money. Well, a fixed supply of Bitcoins actually that are going to be printed throughout its lifetime. 21 million, I believe. There will never be more than 21 million or anything. I mean, there may be forks or whatever, people trying to copy Bitcoin and do their own blockchain based off of Bitcoin, but Bitcoin itself will never change. It will always have 21 million coins that'll be printed. Um, I don't want to say printed, but that are going to be mined periodically using math, not based on somebody's whim, but using math. So everything is basically taken out of the hands of humans and placed in a trustless system for money to be coined, if you will, if you want to use that term. So that's a big thing about Bitcoin that people like. I'm not going to get too much into the economic side of it. Anybody who has any type of background in economics could easily piece this together. I'm going to put this article in the video description so you guys can also come on this page and take a look. Now, they had a couple of tables comparing Bitcoin to other stores of value or transactions, ways to transact, and Bitcoin has some really good points against these other forms of currency or tender. So value, Bitcoin has a potential for increasing value over time. U.S. dollar is a relatively stable value. Gold increases in value during times of economic uncertainty. Very true. Transmissible, easily, we just talked about this, easily instantly sent between individuals worldwide. Easily transmitted locally through cash transactions and worldwide through payment processors. So censorship is not censorship resistant. And also on top of that, you need a third party. It's not trustless. Can be exchanged in face-to-face transaction. Yeah, well, we all know gold. You're not really gonna do much with gold, to be honest with you. Minimal cost is secure and resistant to forced seizure, so nobody could just come take your stuff from you. Hmm, hold up. Oh, okay, this works. Can be secured in a bank, safe, or hiding place. Can be secured in a bank, safe, or hiding place. So basically, Bitcoin doesn't cost that much to secure. If you don't want anybody to get your stuff, they're not going to get your stuff, point blank, period. In a bank, you still have the risk of the bank defaulting and closing down and your money goes down the drain. With gold, it's kind of the same thing. You can't really hide gold. They're going to get it if they try hard enough, if you know what I mean. Fees, very low fee to send anywhere digitally can be converted into bearer instrument for face-to-face transactions. Moderate fees for domestic purchases using credit cards, interest on bank deposits, no fees on cash. no fees on face-to-face transactions. So gold and Bitcoin beat out the dollar in that respect. Acceptability. Bitcoin system is still in its infancy, or not even just Bitcoin. I would say cryptocurrencies as a whole, because when I look at this chart about Bitcoin, guys, I don't see just Bitcoin, but I see the future of cryptocurrencies, because I still don't think that Bitcoin is going to be the end all be all cryptocurrency. I believe that we are going to have a cryptocurrency in the future that will eventually replace Bitcoin as the form of transactions among cryptocurrency. Well, we have a lot of those already, to be honest with you. But as time goes on, we're going to see it transform. We're going to see it grow. But for now, we're talking about Bitcoin. But the growing Bitcoin ecosystem, near universal acceptance of the U.S. dollar, and near universal acceptance as a medium for barter or exchange for local fiat. Durability can be stored indefinitely. Dollars wear out. We don't even want to talk. We don't even talk about that. Can be stored indefinitely. Commodities have enduring value. So, yep. Divisibility, easily divisible. Dollar is divisible to 1/100th of a cent. Can be physically divided or debased. So a lot more work you have to put in to divide this. US dollar as well. Bitcoin, not so much work. Simplicity, absent technology, making Bitcoin easier to use. So right now, Bitcoin is kind of at that adoption curve, or that part of the adoption curve where people are making it easier for people to use the actual cryptocurrency itself. They're creating apps to make it a lot easier for people to find out and get and understand how this thing works and how it benefits them. Cash is simple to use and understand, of course, and value of gold is simple to understand, of course. Inherent value, colored coins, hash data, and other features can tie inherent value into Bitcoin and the Bitcoin blockchain. If you understand anything about data and computers, then you will understand why Bitcoin does have an inherent value. US dollar. Let's not even discuss that. Jewelry, limited uses, industry applications as well. So yeah, everybody, this has been a video on the traits of Bitcoin and these trades compared to other values of transaction. I hope you guys liked and enjoyed the video. This has been your boy CG. Peace. I'm out. Have a great day, everybody.